And welcome to a short series of videos on the new scheduling feature in Google Calendar. Now, I know a lot of staff have usually used appointment slots for organising parent consultations through Google Calendar, but I just wanted to show a nice feature that Google have added to Calendar as an alternative to appointment slots. So the first thing you need to do is you need to sign into your EduBuzz account and access Google Calendar. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to actually establish whether it is appointment slot or appointment scheduler that we have switched on to use. So when you're in your Google Calendar, you can click on the settings cog, open the settings, and what you will need to do is scroll to the very bottom of the page, where you will see appointment schedules. If you don't have this box checked, it means you're using the older feature, which is called appointment slots. But if you do have it checked, it means that you want to use the appointment schedules. And for the purpose of this video, it would be useful if you have this box checked so that we can go through the features of appointment schedules. So now that I've got that box checked, I can go back and into my calendar. And I'm going to, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to select Thursday the 28th of December, as I know I have nothing in my calendar for that date, and we're going to set up some test appointment slots for parents to sign up to parent consultations. So assuming we've established that on Thursday and maybe Friday, Thursday the 28th and Friday the 29th, we want to run appointment slots, a single click on our calendar will bring up this mini window. Okay, so what we want to do first is we don't want to create an event, but we want to assign it to appointment schedules, which changes the features that we have slightly. So the first thing it will prompt us to do is to choose a time frame. So I'm going to choose 2 hours on the Thursday, and we will add in the Friday as we go through the setup. So we've picked Thursday the 28th of December from 3 till 5, and we want to set up that schedule. Now, the next thing we want to do, we're just going to assume that it's history parent appointments. So we've named that, and it walks you through the kind of the setup that you need to go through in order to set this schedule up appropriately. So assuming most parent consultations, we're going to say as a rule of thumb is 10 minutes. We can see that from the list, it doesn't actually go down as far as 10 minutes, but we can customize this and we can change that minutes to 10 minutes, which is perfect. So we don't actually have the default option, it just goes to 15-minute blocks, but you can customize this if your parent consultation slots are slightly shorter. So as we go down, we've now got the general availability. We did mention that we wanted to add in a Friday slot, so we're going to change that and we're going to add that in from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock on the Friday as well. So we've got 2 slots that parents can book here in 10-minute windows. You can see on the right hand side that it's actually blocking this time out of my calendar, and you can see the little blue lines. That is all the 10-minute slots that are going to be bookable. So as we scroll down, it gets to like scheduling window, which enables you to say, do you want it to start now? So when do you want parents to be able to book these? So if you want it to be available now, you can click available now, but equally, you can change the date, so you can pick when the appointment schedule becomes active and when it ceases to become active. I know that we often give end dates or sign up dates for parent consultation so that we can organize our times. So it's really useful to add in an end date, so those schedules will cease to be live and the links will no longer work if you have chosen an expiry date. There's also some nice features that you can have a maximum time in advance. So if you want parents to be able to book 10 days in advance, 15 days in advance, that's fine. But also you have a minimum time so that parents can't be booking half an hour before your appointment. This kind of all goes hand in hand, but if you manage your start and end dates really well, then this becomes kind of irrelevant because you've picked a start date and an end date that suits you. These are just more generic options. For the adjusted availability, we don't have to focus on that just now, but we want to go to booked appointment settings instead. So you can add in little buffers. I know some teachers like to add in maybe 2 minutes between each meeting. So you can do that by selecting a buffer time and customizing how many minutes. And you can also look at maximizing the number of bookings per day. But assuming if you've pick the time frame that you want to work from 4 to 7 or 1 to 4, then each 10-minute slot is available to be booked unless you block that out. Also, check calendars for availability. This automatically checks your Google Calendar, because if you have a half-hour meeting, say at 5:30 between the parent consultations that you cannot miss, then it will automatically block off that half an hour that you need to have available for that meeting. So you can actually coincide this with any Google Classroom calendar you have as well, so you can switch whatever ones you want on. I tend to just work from my EduBuzz calendar, my main one, which is really, really useful. So we'll click next, and what it asks us to do is for a booking page name and photo. It usually is your display name and display photo from your EduBuzz account, and then location and conferencing. If you wish this to be in person, then you can establish that. So select how and where to meet. If you want it to be in person, if you want it to be a phone call, if you don't want to specify, that's okay. But equally, if you wanted it to be an online, all of the meetings were online, you could establish that, and that will generate a meet link when they have booked. You also get the option to add in a little description. For this purpose, we're just going to call it testing. And it also asks you within the booking form, what do you wish to collect? Now, there's 3 elements that it will collect by default. It'll be your first name, the surname, and the email address. I should clarify that that's the first name of the pupil, the surname of the pupil, and the email address, possibly of the parent, so that they can set up the reminder. It's really useful maybe in the description to put that the booking form should be named as the pupil, because it's sometimes difficult to understand which parent is linked to which pupil if they have different surnames. So it's maybe sensible to suggest that first name and surname is the pupil information and the email address is the parent, so that they get a reminder directly to their personal device. And then the last one, really useful, is if you check the email reminder box, it will send the parent an email reminder to the email address that they've put into the booking form, and you can toggle this for it to be 1 day before, an hour before, as little as 5 minutes before, but equally you can customize that again to be exactly what you want it to be. It could be a week before the appointment. Once you've finished that, you can click save, and you can see that it generates this page. So it's a booking page. So what we can do now is we can click on here, and we can toggle to the 28th and the 29th, which if we toggle our arrow across, you can see that it has booked our little appointments for here. So you can see that 3 o'clock all the way up to 4:50 and 1 o'clock all the way up to 3:50. So if a parent was booking an appointment, they would simply click on the 3 o'clock. You could see that the contact info, you can input their name. So it could be Joe Blogs, and this would be the email address that the parent would leave, so that they would get their email reminder. They simply click book, and that will block out that spot on your calendar. As you can see, it's now highlighted in blue, so it's blocked, so no other parent will be able to book that, and you will receive a notification that